Welcome to the Knitter's Gotta Knit podcast, stitch number 8.
Number 8. It's been 3 weeks, and I'm Darlene from Ravelry. I'm Awesome Granny, and on Instagram, I'm Bags by Awesome Granny.
And I'm Carrie, and on Ravelry, I'm a Knitfomaniac, and Instagram, it's just Knitfomaniac.
And we were talking about, it's been 3 weeks since we podcast. What did we do? And we can't think of anything that we did.
Not a thing.
We haven't done a thing in the last 3 weeks.
Yep, we just sat in bed because we can't think of a damn thing.
Can't think of nothing. So,
well, we did think of one thing. We did do the retreat.
Yes, we did.
And we mentioned that. That's why we weren't able to podcast last weekend, which would have been 2 weeks. But we have a retreat that's not too far from here that a lady that lives here in San Antonio puts on, and it's called the San Antonio Fiber Retreat. So it's not far. We only have to drive less than an hour outside of town, and it's a nice little lodge, and then there's some cabins across the street, and I think I heard the lady say we had 26 or 25 or something.
And because there were supposed to be more, but there were like 4 or so cancellations.
There were a few cancellations, yeah. There were a few cancellations. Darlene and I usually sleep in the same bed when we go, and it's a different price if you take a bed all to yourself or whether you share a bed or whatever. And but she actually didn't have to sleep with me this year because there was an extra bed.
Yeah, we had a cancellation in our room. And I was really glad that we went to the retreat because I got so much knitting done on Kagan's sweater and on Shannon's sweater. And I usually, whenever we have a retreat or go for a retreat, Carrie and I both take 15 whips because we think that we're going to get all of this knitting done. All. And I only took 3 things. I took Shannon's sweater, Kagan's sweater. What else did I take?
Casey's blanket.
And Casey, my son's blanket.
Mm-hmm.
And I really limited my knitting, and because of that, I got tons done. And we'll show those in our whips.
Yeah. But I took a few more things than I probably should have, and I'm sure I didn't touch all of them, but I had them just in case.
Well, you were working on a lot of different stuff.
I worked on a lot of different stuff, and it just reminded me that I need to stop working on so many different things because it doesn't get me anywhere. Like, I probably did 1 round on my Nuvum. That's going to be like a double Nuvum. But it was late at night, and that's just a straight knit project, so that was easy. I probably did 2 rows on my crochet blanket. And
I was actually wishing every time she would pull out something else, I'm like, man, I wish I'd have brought that. Man, I wish I'd have brought that, because most of our stuff, we both, we copy each other. We both do the same things, and so every time she'd pull something out, I was like, man, I wish I had that to work on. But I'm glad that I didn't take a bunch of stuff because I did get lots of stuff done. A lot of progress done on my 2 projects.
Okay, sorry about that little cut there. But so yeah, I took a little bit more, and she was saying that she liked to wish she'd brought more of the stuff that I brought. But really, it means that I do 1 row on something, and then it doesn't get that much farther.
But we did meet a awesome new friend.
Oh yes, we did.
And her name is Rosanna.
Hi, Rosanna. I know you don't probably watch us, but we're gonna say hi to you anyway.
But if you don't, you should. But she was super nice. She is a heavy Italian accent. I mean, she's got, in fact, whenever I was first starting to talk to her, I wouldn't be able to knit. I had to, concentrate on what she was saying. As the weekend went on, it got easier.
It did. It got much easier.
She's just one of those people that, you meet that person that you just instantly click with.
Mm-hmm. She's so personable.
We did.
Just wonderful.
Carrie and I both just instantly did click with her. And then they, her and another friend of ours, Tania. Hi, Tania.
Hi, Tania.
And don't speed us up because we're going to talk about you.
Yeah, we're going to talk about you. Tania watches us on 1.5 speed on YouTube. So I told her we were going to talk really slow, but
Carrie and I are going on a cruise with some other friends after the first of the year. What is it, March?
It's actually April. The first week of April.
And Tania and Rosanna are going to go with us, and I'm so excited.
Yes.
And actually, Bruce is relieved that Rosanna's going with us because I've never been on a cruise. Carrie's never been on a cruise, and she's a seasoned traveler. And so he was like, well, that's good that y'all have somebody that's actually has cruise experience with y'all.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
we'll lean on her for,
We absolutely
advice
will.
on different things.
Yes, we absolutely will.
So thank you, Rosanna, for going, because you make my husband feel better. But
And I got my passport. I have a friend in Canada. She came and visited earlier this year in February, and she went to one of these retreats. It's like the spring retreat. It's twice a year, and in February and in October. And Paulette has been on my case forever to get my passport. So I finally got my passport. Now Darlene's in the process of getting her
still have to get mine.
birth certificates and all the stuff that you need to get a passport.
And since I have to get mine, Bruce is going to go ahead and get his also. That way, we can, if we want to go into Canada when we're on vacation or something, we can. We'll have it. So
I think that's a good idea.
So going through the pains to get one, we might as well go ahead and get both of them.
Sure.
So, but the retreat was fun.
The retreat was a lot of fun. And we both got a lot of knitting done. I got a Mac. I got an iMac this week. I have told you guys my pains with editing stuff. And I'm getting a little bit better, but my pains were really with the iPad. And we did have a couple people tell me how I can, now with the new iOS 11, you weren't able to do it prior to the iOS 11, how you can split a screen. And while I haven't tried that yet, because we haven't podcast yet, so I'll be editing this one, I did break down and get an iMac. And I contemplated between the MacBook and the iMac, and I've really wanted a desktop just like as a personal home computer for a while. I've had laptops, and both Darlene and I are in the IT area for our jobs. And for me, it's just always made sense to have a PC. But I did leap to the dark side, and I will probably forever be a Mac person now, because I knew that once I switched everything to Mac, I would probably just live and die and breathe Mac for forever. But I finally did break down and do that. So I'm hoping the editing becomes much more fun now, and maybe I can, do cute and fun stuff here or something. I have no idea.
I'm happy for you that you got it. I just hope that the podcast wasn't the only reason that you made that expense, because...
Oh, well, the podcast maybe just helped me push me to it, but I've been thinking about doing it for quite some time. So
that's awesome.
So hopefully that will be a lot better. We'll find out this afternoon. And Antonio had a birthday party. Yes, he turned 6. And I thought Paige might want to do it at her new house, but she didn't. She really wasn't quite settled yet to, have such a large party, at a new house. But Antonio likes this place called Pump It Up. So we had my other grandkids came, Celeste and Catalea came, and it's really just all this jumping stuff. Like you just jump on all these big moon jumps all in a big room, and those kids, they have so much energy. They just run and run and run and run. I'm trying to follow them like with a camera, and I can barely keep up.
And it's interesting that you talk about Pump It Up, because I watched this this news. Is it like trampolines and stuff? And
it's not.
And those inflatable things.
It's the inflatable stuff.
So
there's very few trampolines, if any. There's a couple places to dance, like a little soft spot to dance.
Precious.
And Precious, leave her alone. Sorry, that's my dog. Okay. Bugging Darlene.
I'm trying to pick her up, and she keeps running away.
And it's like you can dance, and they shine a light on, so you can like the kids can try and go dance on those things that are being shown down onto the ground, and there's some pits that have big blocks of styrofoam you can fall into, but I wouldn't say per se it's a trampoline. Okay. Like there are some places that have trampolines for gymnasts and stuff to practice.
I was watching a news story on those kind of places, and I don't remember if it was on Dateline or what it was on, but those kind of places like that have no regulation in Texas.
Really?
There's no safety regulations, there's no insurance regulations. You could go open one right now, and you don't even have to have any kind of special training or licenses or anything to open those, which is a little bit scary when you have, all these little kids, running around in there. And
it is. I think the person that owns Garlic Joe's. Have you seen the new pizza places called Garlic Joe's? I think it's the same owner that owns this Pump It Up, because I think when you order pizza, they usually bring it from like Garlic Joe's or whatever, unless you specify that you want it from somewhere else. But basically, they're just calling a delivery place and having that pizza delivered. But I do know that they do cover their butt, because the kids all have to watch a video. They have to, you know, before you go in, if you don't have any socks on, you're not allowed to jump. You have to take your shoes off. No shoes on the playground.
Well, that's good. At least, you know, they're like trying to
little different safety regulations. And of course, when every child comes in, because, you know, each child has to come in and register, and then, you know, to make sure that pays for that child, depending on the quantity. You basically pay by the quantity of children that you have at the party. And every child that comes in, their whoever brought them in, their parent, guardian, uncle, aunt, whatever they are, they have to sign something saying they're, you know, signing in this person. And Jaime and I got there. We were one of the first ones to get there. And, of course, we didn't have a child with us. So they were like, do you have a child? And we're like, oh, no, we're just the grandparents.
I just find it amazing that that kind of place doesn't have any, they're not regulated. And I think in some states they are, but in Texas is one of the states that there's no regulation.
That is a little scary. They are pretty efficient. They hustle you through. You know, it's a 2-hour party. You better get there on time or you're not getting in the room. I mean, kids can come in late, but so many minutes in this room, then they move you along to another room, and so many minutes in another room, and then they move you along into a party room, and the birthday child gets to sit in a big old chair, and then they, you know, feed out the pizza, and they ask the drinks. You know, we had like lemonade and fruit punch, and there's party people there that like are doing the serving for you, so you really can kick back as, you know, as Paige or like myself trying to help. They're like, no, we'll do it. We'll do it. You know, we can do it. And they're great. You know, they're really great. So, it gets it done. Yeah. Not that you're having it at your house and, you know, there's that one family that just won't leave.
Yeah.
And you're exhausted.
Like, please leave. Yeah. But I'm glad he had a good birthday. That's awesome.
He had a great birthday, and he got to see his cousins and stuff.
That's great.
Not just Catalay and Celeste, but a few of his cousins from his dad's side of his family got to come too. So that was nice.
Well, I wanted to thank everybody for all of the wonderful comments about Peyton being on our last episode.
Yes.
And she had so much fun, and, you know, she wants to do it again. I told her she could do it again sometime, but she really had a good time, and everyone's comments was so sweet, and I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Well, it does help that she really is a cutie pie.
Well, thank you. So, and I've had a couple of people send me private messages in Ravelry, and a couple of them through my Etsy shop wanting to know about the baby squirrels. So, funny story.
I already know that instance of the squirrels.
Okay, so they had 4. They had 4 of them that this person like brought into Shyla's store and gave Shyla, my daughter, and Shyla was, you know, bottle feeding them, or eyedropper feeding them actually, because they were, you know, tiny little things, didn't have their eyes open or anything, and they lost 2 of them. 2 of them died, and 2 of them were just thriving. And Shyla called me one day, and she was like, "Mama," she's like, "every day that goes by, my squirrels are looking more and more like rats."
I think when she first got the squirrels, I told Darlene, I said, "Squirrels are nothing but rats."
Well, they are. They're just rats with a fluffy tail. And then Shyla, she was like, a couple of days later, she was like, "They're definitely rats." Because, you know, they grow really fast. I mean, they're a rodent. All rodents grow really fast. And what's funny is my nephew, Shannon, when Shyla first got these little rat squirrels, Shannon and my brother Billy told her, said, "Those aren't squirrels, those are rats." And Shyla's like, no, Shyla was adamant they were squirrels. We all, you know, thought they were squirrels. And when Shannon was down a couple of weeks ago, I was telling him this story, and he texted Shyla, and he was like, "I hear you're a miracle worker at your house." And she was like, "Huh?" And he said, "I hear that you can turn squirrels into rats." And so, and then after she quit dropper feeding them, and they started eating on their own, they know that they're not supposed to be pets, you know, and they got to where they would hide in the tubes, because my son-in-law Tim and Peyton went and got this gerbil cage that has the tubes and stuff that they can run in. And it was so funny because Peyton was helping Tim put it together, and undoubtedly there was one part that wasn't fitting right, and Peyton was reading the instructions, and Tim wasn't listening to her. And she
imagine that.
Yeah, and she tells him, he was like, "It should go this way," and Peyton was like, "Tim, it goes the other way. Read the dummy sheet. The dummy sheet says it goes this way." So after he read the dummy sheet, or listened to her because she was reading the dummy sheet.
That's cute.
They got it put together, but Shyla said that after they quit hand feeding them, that they would hide in those tubes and wouldn't even let them pick them up, and she was afraid that they would bite. And
I'm sure they would.
And I mean, they
need hard stuff to grind their little teeth down.
Yeah, and I think and I'm not a rat knower of rats. I don't know what I'm assuming what I'm fixing to say is clearly an assumption on my part. But you see the rats in the pet stores that are like black and white, and they're different colors, and they're all cute. And they're still rats, but they're like pretty rats. Mm-hmm. I think they must be a different breed than your just normal old wild brown rat. I'm assuming. I don't know.
Maybe they're bred with another animal or something. I don't know, like a gerbil to make it cute or something. I have no idea.
I don't know either, but I do know that the colorful ones are a lot cuter. With the colorable, fluffy ones that have the soft hair are cuter than just your normal old wild rat. But they've since let the rats go. They took them out to where Shyla works and turned them loose out by the river. So they're like wild rats now.
At least she doesn't have to raise those school rats forever. So
now, because they had the cage, I mean, you can't have an empty gerbil cage without having a gerbil in it.
No, you can't.
So Peyton has a Russian dwarf hamster.
Okay.
And he's really cute. He's all fat, and he looks like Gus on Cinderella. I mean, he's like fluffy and fat.
I love that. I love that little mouse.
He's really, really cute. But that's the story of the squirrels that became rats.
Wow.
So that was interesting. So
what you working on?
I'm working on Peyton's hat, and it's going really slow. I intended to have this done before this podcast. I will try to have it done before the next one so that I can show it and then give it to her. So it's Peyton's. What is this called? It's a woolly wormhead hat. Alvereare. Alvera. Mm-hmm. And I'm making it out of the Helping Hippo DK from Lolo Did It. And I'm really hoping that it blocks out a little bit because it's really.
You need to hold it higher. We're not holding it high enough.
So
we're doing a different angle on the camera today, and I'm not going to go too close for zooming, but hopefully you can get that when I edit this. If it's not a close enough picture, I'll insert a picture up here somewhere.
Oh, and what are you working on?
I am working on my daddy's Ranger. I'm on a knit row.
It's so pretty.
Let's see if I can. I've got it at about 13 inches, and I need to go to about 15 3/4 or something like that. It is just barely slugging along, but
it's really beautiful.
Here's where I was last time. There's that marker.
That's a lot, Carrie.
It's been 3 weeks, and I know it doesn't. I mean, it looks like a lot, and at the same time, it feels like it's not really a lot. But I want to, I want to get it. I want to get it to where I can attach the sleeves. So I think I was just barely starting the sleeves 3 weeks ago, but I'm not 100%
I'm not even sure you were started. I don't even know that you actually. Maybe you did have them started.
I have both sleeves done. This is the left, if you can guess. I don't know if you can see that, but this is the right. And I think once I get to the 15 3/4 inches, I do some short rows on the back, and then after the short rows on the back, sorry, Precious just opened the door and it kind of creaked a little. After the short rows on the back, I think then I knit to 16 1/4 inches, not including the short rows I just did, and then I think I can attach the sleeve. Sorry, I have hiccups. And
That's
then I think I
awesome.
can attach the sleeve. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Well, it's just beautiful.
Thank you.
I love that color.
Thank you.
Well, guess what I have, y'all? So, here is the right front of Shannon's sweater. And here is the left front.
Look at that. Look at that.
So, by the next podcast, I should be able to show y'all a completed
Finished
sweater.
sweater.
And then we all,
Party.
we're going to party. So everybody have your party hat on, because the next podcast, this is going to be...
Okay, we're back. Sorry, Antonio came running in here. He spilled his lemonade in the living room. So, I know we were in the middle of showing this, and you were in the middle of talking about the party we're going to have.
Yes, because I plan on having this completely done by the next podcast. Because all I have to do is finish this front, block the pieces, sew them together, and then pick up for the collar and sew the buttons on, and then we'll be done. So excited.
I wish I was that close with my daddies.
I'm just so ready for it to be done.
I bet you are. I bet you are.
And what else do you have?
So, because I don't have enough whips, I had to start something new.
And I haven't got around to starting mine yet. I hope to this weekend. But
so I don't know, I'm just like in a hat mood or something. It's weird because I don't wear that many hats, but you know, we went to the retreat and I wore a hat at the retreat. It was pretty chilly at the retreat.
It was.
It's hot now, but last weekend it was nice and cool. So I bought new yarn, so it's part of Stash Enhancements and Whips, but I am making Magic Brioche. This is the hat. It is by, I have no clue, Katrin Schubert. Katrin Schubert. It's going to be a reversible hat, and I got hedgehog fiber yarn for it. So this is the Film Noir colorway, and this is the graphite or something. Is it graphite? I can't remember the name. But it's like they're black. I'm pretty sure it's graphite.
it's a really pretty color.
So these are the two colors. This is my favorite hedgehog color ever. I love this. It's in one of my fades. I think it's even in in two of my fades. I have like 3 or 4 of these in sock yarn, but I didn't have any in DK.
I'm surprised you hadn't bought enough of that to make you a sweater.
I should, but I mean, I shouldn't, but I should.
Yeah.
So let me show you the itty bitty beginnings of the hat. It's not much. This is the right side.
It's going to be beautiful.
And then, of course, reversible. I mean, it's just barely started. I'm not even sure if that camera's focusing or not, but it is just barely started. So
It's going to be gorgeous.
but it's brioche, so you know you do every row twice.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's my other
And
one.
brioche in the round is different than brioche flat, isn't it?
It is, because you don't have to slide back to the end.
But you
where-
just keep going, right?
You just keep going, so you drop, like I'm on the middle of knitting with, I'm going to knit with the contrast color, so you just drop the main color, just drop it right where it is, and then you knit around with the contrast color, and then you drop the contrast color, and you pick up the main color, and then you do
That sounds
your steps.
easier.
I think it's much easier, but I mean, I've only done like 5 rounds, so I'm not that far in, and I haven't started any like patterning yet. Just doing ribbing right now. So, but I am enjoying it, and I just have this itch to just, I don't know, just have something on.
Sometimes it's nice to have something small.
It is.
Because we always have these humongous projects, and sometimes
do.
it's nice to have a small project.
Yeah, and I've been I've been trying to be very faithful to my dad's sweater, but let's face it. Let's face it, you get bored every once in a while. So I'm not made to be a 100% monogamous knitter, but I'm getting closer. I'm trying to give just certain things, better attention.
Well, speaking of hats, my son is a firefighter in Houston. I think most of y'all know that, but he really likes the sockhead hat. I had a green and black, or green, was it green and black, or green and
so.
white, and the sockhead hat that I was wearing to one of the motorcycle races, and he really liked it, and so I gave it to him, and he told me, he said, I love this hat, can you make me my favorite color, black?
Her whole family's favorite color, apparently.
Well, yeah, I know, right? And it's really not Casey's favorite color, but if he wants to wear a hat to work, it has to be black, because he has to wear a uniform. And so he wanted this sockhead hat because he can wear it under his fire hat, helmet, whatever you call that thing. And so I started him a sockhead hat, and it's just Malabrigo sock yarn.
You're not going to be able to see really anything. It's just a big blob of black. But she's still on the ribbing. So
I have like 4 inches more of ribbing, and then 9 inches of just knitting, and in fun black. So
fun black.
So Casey, I love you, son. So
I don't have any other whips.
I do. I have 2. So y'all know when Hurricane Harvey was torturing Texas a few weeks ago, my daughter and son-in-law got a leak in their attic, and it was in their bedroom closet. And so all of Shyla's knitted stuff, she's very good about putting her knitted stuff in one area in her closet and stuff. And I think Tim, or it might have been Shyla, but one of them was packing up her knitted stuff to get it out because there was a leak in the closet. And somehow one of her black, again, gloves got lost.
Oh,
I know. She really hated to tell me. She was like, I hate to tell you this, Mama, but... So, these are so easy to make. I cast this on 2 days ago, and it's almost done. But so it's just a replacement glove to go with her black glove that went away in Hurricane Harvey. But I'm just using Baracco DK yarn. So, and it's just a simple little black Nook. Nook is the pattern, I think.
Yeah,
it's called Nooks.
It's free on Nitty.com.
And I have made so many of these. But Shyla loves them. They're her favorite. She loves hats and she loves these gloves. So I will probably always be making these gloves because she loves them.
Darlene's made a lot of pairs of these gloves.
I've made a lot. And they're so fast, and it's such an easy pattern. So, and then my only other thing, and I have to finish this glove today because I'm going to see Shyla tomorrow. My only other thing is Kagan's, my granddaughter, my 15-year-old granddaughter's sweater. It is, all I lack is just the sleeves and then sewing it up.
Okay, so let me get this right. So she's knit the back, and then these are the 2 front panels, and then she picked up stitches and has done the whole collar.
And y'all know how I complained about Peyton, because I made this whole sweater for Kagan once before, and because the pattern sucks, it fit a 9-year-old instead of a 15-year-old. So on this one, I did the largest size, which would be the extra large, plus 6 extra stitches on the back, and 3 extra stitches on each front. And I think it's going to be plenty bulky on Kagan now, but I mean,
and she went longer too.
I went longer, and I went bigger, and now it might actually fit a 15-year. I mean, Kagan is not a big girl; she's a small or extra small size woman. You know, but it's just a terrible pattern. I mean, it's a super easy pattern. It's just terrible in the sizing of it.
Yeah,
so
the sizing is wrong.
So I need to finish this like ASAP. I wish I'd have finished it now. I could have showed y'all the finished sweater, but I'll see Kagan next weekend, and I want to give it to her next weekend. And then
we'll have to do a picture of the finished sweater.
And then I have to make one more of these
for Brinley.
And then all of my granddaughters will have this awesome sweater. So, and that's all of my whips. I can't believe I had more than you this time. That's amazing.
Well, like I said, I worked on a couple of things at the retreat. I did like 1 row on that poncho that I showed last episode, where I said I was probably going to frog it. I'm probably not going to frog it. I went ahead and did another row. Pulling it out made me realize how much I really do like it and want it finished. And what I will probably frog is the yoga shawl, because the reason I was going to frog this knotted chain poncho was because I had something so similar to it on the needles already, which was the yoga shawl. But I think I'm going to frog the yoga shawl and just make the knotted chain poncho and be happy with that.
We have a friend at work, Susie, that she did the yoga shawl, and she did it in Miss Babs Yowza. So it's a fingering weight shawl.
It is.
And she did it in worsted weight, and she didn't do the buttons on it. She sewed it up, so it's like literally a poncho.
It is.
And it is so awesome.
It's very pretty. We had to, I mean, she didn't cast on the same number. I mean, we played with the pattern a little bit and, you know, looked at how long it was with so many cast on. And then she did some magic with weighing how much weight it took to get through the pattern. Because there's a pattern at each end. And then in between in the yoga shawl is like stockinette. And so she kind of weighed it and to know how many grams to save to have that same pattern at the other end.
But it's really awesome.
And she finished it. It's really beautiful.
It turned
it's
out
a very
great.
very nice poncho. So I think I will frog the yoga shawl because I am doing it in a fingering. If you know, well, it's Volmeise lace, which to me is like a lightweight fingering. You know, it's not quite lace in my opinion, but I know that's what it's called. So.
Yeah.
But I do have some finished objects.
Oh, good. I have none.
I have one finished object that I forgot to show last weekend.
Yeah, I can't. Last time
episode.
I can't believe that you forgot to show it.
I put it away. I actually wore it and put it away and forgot about it. Forgot to. If I don't come and put it in this room for the podcast, I forget about it. But I did finish
so
my What the Fade. Is it What the Fade?
Yeah, it is. That makes me want to finish mine.
You should finish yours.
I know. It is gorgeous. It is absolutely beautiful.
I do love it. It's a nice, big, huge shawl. I decided to go without the tassels. I think the tassels are cute and pretty and everything. I'm just not a tassely person.
I really
think
like
if it was
the tassels.
if it was decoration, I would be okay with having the tassels on, but I don't think the tassels are very wearable. Like I'll probably like ruin them or like yarn will come out or something, you know, if I put tassels on here. So, but I did finish. I love it. It's huge.
It is. It's beautiful.
It is very, very big. Very big. If you're thinking about making this, it's bigger than What the Fade. I mean, it's a completely different shape.
Yeah,
but,
it's really long. It's really deep.
And it's very triangular.
It's not as
wide.
Long, as wide as, I mean, it's very, very deep.
It is deep. It goes way past my butt. Way past my butt.
It's just gorgeous.
And the other finished object that I have are my socks. I mean, they're sport weight, so they went really quickly. I finished these in October, but I started them in September, so I really didn't get to enter them into many cows.
Have you cast on another pair of socks?
I haven't, but I'm thinking about it. I mean, I want to finish that hat that I just cast on first, but I am thinking about it. I usually always have some socks going, so when I don't, it feels a little odd.
Yeah.
So, but I do have that. Those finished ones. I think we have some stash enhancements.
We have a lot.
Well,
okay, so I don't know what happened to me, y'all.
You just fell off the wagon.
I did.
And like went a bumping down the road for a while.
I did. So, you know, sit back. So I've been watching this podcast, the Fruity Knitting podcast. They do a really good job on their podcast, and they always interview really interesting people. And they were in the Shetland Wool Week. They went to Shetland and they like interviewed all of these amazing people. I told Bruce, I said, we really need to go to Shetland, and he was like, okay, you and Carrie have fun. And I was like, okay.
We will.
So, you know, that because of that podcast, I've really gotten interested in color work, like Fair Isle. And so I bought a Craftsy class, and you know, it's interesting because this lady on this podcast was saying that if you use the right kind of yarn to do your Fair Isle, when you steek it, you don't even have to really do anything to it. You can just pick up your stitches and go on, because the yarn will grab a hold of itself and not go anywhere, which I found really interesting. So, you know, they say not to use anything with silk, no acrylic, nothing superwash, nothing, you know, it has to be
feltable.
yeah, the kind of wool that a lot of people don't like because it's not really the softest.
Mm-hmm.
So I got this pattern from Tin Can Knits, and I don't know how you say it, but I think
Clayquat?
And I was
like
telling
kumquat, but it's Clayquat?
I told Carrie, I said, I'm going to make this and I'm going to steek it. And she was like, don't you want to start with something small, like a coffee mug cozy or something? And I was like, no, let's just go all out. Let's do this sweater, and I'm going to steek this baby.
So after all that knitting, all the knitting that she's going to do on this sweater, because, is this for you?
Uh-huh.
Let's not forget, we're both size extra large.
Yeah.
We're not like petite smalls or anything. After all this knitting, she's going to take some scissors to this and she's going to cut it.
I am. And I'm going to like take
we'll have to video it or something.
Okay, let's do.
Yeah.
So then I bought, Craftsy was having a sale on their yarn. It's their yarn. It's Cloudborn yarn. But I bought all of the yarn for this sweater with their sale for about $35 or $40. And so if I ruin it, I'm not ruining a lot of money. I'll be ruining a lot of time, but not a lot of money. So I was asking Carrie what her opinion was. Do I want to do green, white, and blue, or green, white, and yellow? And I think I've decided to do that combination that Carrie's holding now, the green, white, and the blue. So I don't know when I'll ever cast this on, but I do. I'm just really, really interested in doing something and then steeking it.
Alrighty.
So
you enjoy that.
I will. So go ahead.
I have a few stash enhancements. Of course, you already saw my my hedgehog.
Yeah.
This is DK Hedgehog because I started my hat with it. And then I got the Leading Men Fiber Arts. This is the October colorway Trapdoor. So I think I've mentioned before on the podcast that Darlene and I like to get their color every month when it comes out. And they usually have 10. Yes, we know there's 12 months in a year, but they usually skip 2 months. And they're busy doing, shows or whatever. Mm-hmm. But I think this color is beautiful.
It is absolutely gorgeous.
And he actually watched the podcast.
I know, I was so happy.
Hi, Steve. How are you? And Callie.
Uh-huh.
So they have a podcast called Dramatic Knits, but which I started watching. But he has done a fabulous job with this. Sorry, that was Antonio. So
I was telling Carrie that I got the same one, the same one that she got, and Stephen had a hat on his podcast.
He
that
did.
He showed.
He finished it with this colorway, I guess in a worsted or DK weight, and it looked fabulous. If you go on Ravelry under Dramatic Knits, I think that's his username, and go look at his trapdoor hat. It's fabulous.
It's really beautiful. I mean, it's all of Carrie's colors. I told Carrie, I said, you should buy a sweater's quantity to make you a sweater. Probably trying to help her to not buy yarn. But,
yeah, we're supposed to
help
not
each other.
Be buying yarn, but hey, buy a sweater's quantity of this, because there's another yarn that she's going to show in a minute that both of us kind of want to get a sweater's quantity of, but we're not going to do it.
Yeah, we're not going to do it.
We're not going to do it.
We're not doing it today anyway.
Yeah.
So y'all, I have talked about since we've been podcasting that I love Lolo Did It's Hippo yarn. And so I've got my last 2 colors of the year, and now I have all of the hippos. I have hippo for Christmas. But this one is the one that Carrie and I both have just thought, oh my gosh, we need to get her to dye us a sweater's quantity of this. And it's the hippo for Thanksgiving. I mean, look at that. Orange and that green. That is the perfect color of green.
It's a beautiful skein of yarn.
It is.
It is a beautiful, beautiful skein of yarn. I love that orange in there.
I do too.
Of course.
Yep.
But we're not buying a sweater's quantity.
We're not. It's getting too close to Christmas, and But so what else did you get?
So Darlene and I both participated in Spicy Homemaker's Advent Calendar, Advent Mini Swap. And it was time to mail the boxes, and I got my package. I know Darlene got her package. She'll be able to show. But in my package, from my swap partner, I got a beautiful skein of Malabrigo sock yarn in the Mart colorway.
It really is pretty.
It's very beautiful. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. Maybe socks, maybe part of a shawl. I'm not sure, but it is beautiful. And thank you, Teresa.
Yeah, it's really
she was
pretty.
my swap person, Teresa, so thank you.
So on the last podcast, we talked about the Carrie from the Creative Obsession that she did this. This was a fundraiser for the fire victims in California, and the colorway is called Come Together. And I got 2 skeins of this, and I'm actually going to. I have some red that I got from Carrie that I'm going to cake up this, and I'm going to make this same hat that Carrie's making with this. And I think it'll just really be beautiful.
Oh my God, that took forever to focus.
Oh. And then I bought a skein from my friend Angelique from the Black Sheep Yarn Shop. I bought this pumpkin spice latte, and I just think that it's so pretty. And whenever she sent it to me, she sent me a coordinating skein of her brand new colorway called Toasty. And I just think that they are gorgeous together. So whatever, I don't know what I'm going to do with them, but whatever I'm going to do, I'm going to use both of them together. So y'all should go visit her shop and check them out, because that brown is brand new. I mean, I think she just listed it this week. Mm-hmm. And then,
see, now we're
finally, I got a sweater's quantity of this Madeline Tosh
DK twist
in the Holiday Grunge color.
Holly Grunge.
Holly Grunge. And I think it's so pretty. So now I have a dilemma.
I'll put a picture in because the camera's having the hardest time focusing and unfocusing.
I have a dilemma that I'm either going to make my portage out of my Cosmic silver or this one. So I think I'll just swatch them both and see which one I like the best.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. And I actually, for my portage, we were mentioning last time that this color might be too bright for me because she's making that hat for Kate.
Oh, no, it might not be too bright for you. It will most definitely be too bright for you. Because, oh, yeah, I guess they do point it in front of the camera. That's just not, I mean, no, Carrie would never wear that bright.
So, Carrie from the Creative Obsession, who I think is at Vogue Knitting Live this weekend with Naughty Knitwits and probably Angelique and Lori.
Those wonderful people.
She was going to say a bad word.
Just a little jealousy coming out here.
Yeah, just a little. She is dyeing me up a colorway. I think she's going to dye it up next week. And I cannot wait to show you guys.
I can't either, because the sample that she did before you had her tweak it just a little bit was really beautiful.
It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. I can't wait to get it, and I can't wait to cast on. So I better be done with this
Casey Badward sweater.
Casey Badward sweater.
So we were talking about the swap from the Advent swap with Melissa, the Spicy Homemaker. Well, my partner was Christy from Bloomfield, Colorado. I think it's close to Boulder, and I think it's about 100 miles from Estes Park, because she was saying Estes Park is one of her favorite places to go. But she made me, well, first of all, she sent me some little chocolates, but they're at home. And she got me this super cute Sucre miniature. I've never had one before.
I'll take a picture of it because the camera's not behaving.
And she bought that at Rhinebeck when she was at Rhinebeck.
Oh, she went to Rhinebeck. Yeah. Now I'm even more jealous.
I know, me too. But she made me this bag, and I'm so excited that she made me a bag. And I mean, she just did a gorgeous job on this bag. And so when I get home, I'm going to put a project in it, but I didn't want to scrunch it up before I showed it on the podcast. But I just think that it's gorgeous and beautiful. And she made me, and I don't know how a person makes something like this, but she made me this Advent calendar. It says Merry Christmas on the front. It's like a book.
Yeah, it's like a book.
It says Merry Christmas on the front. And then on the inside, look at that.
Oh, there's minis in those little holes. I
can't wait to start opening them. I mean, I just think that it is the cutest thing I've ever seen. She did just a beautiful job on it. So So thank you very much, Christy.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Love it.
It's beautiful. Teresa did a great job on mine too. It's just not in a box. It's each day has an individual box that I get to open, and it's hard. I'll
But
put a
she
picture in
made
there.
each one of these.
Yeah,
I mean, it's just
amazing.
It's just
I
incredible.
don't know how you put something like that together.
You know, I was telling Carrie that it's so beautiful, and I mean, all knitters are crafty. You know, that's what we do, is we craft. You know, we knit and stuff, but I would never know how to do this, and it looks very fiddly. I don't know that I would want to know how to do this.
It looks very time consuming.
It looks very time consuming, but
yeah, very time
I love it, and you know what? I may just have to put minis in it next year just to reuse it, because I just think it's gorgeous.
Yeah, I'd hate for it to not be reused.
But
And then I got, from my swap partner, I got this beautiful book. And I haven't had a chance to read the whole thing. But I know Darlene has seen quite a few people post it on Instagram and stuff. But it's Coco Knits. And it's got how, you know, she makes sweaters and stuff. It's by Julie Weisenberger.
And I love that sweater on the back.
And I love the sweater on the back, too. That's probably one of the ones
the
that
Gracie, I think it's called.
or something. I'll make. But, you know, it's got all sorts of fun stuff inside. And thank you very much.
Yes,
so
thank you, Teresa, because I'm going to use this book too.
Yeah, she gets to use it too.
It is really beautiful.
It is. It is. Oh, my last stash enhancement. It's not really yarn, but it is knitting related. I got the cutest sweatshirt.
Oh, that's so cute.
Shut the hell up! I'm counting.
That is really, really cute.
Sorry, I should have given a warning. Maybe I'll beep that out. I don't know if I know how to, but should have given a warning if there's any children in the room. But that's a bad word. But I thought it was cute. So I haven't worn it yet.
It is really cute.
I got it the day I got back from the retreat, so I didn't have it to wear to the retreat. It would have been perfect for the retreat because it's a sweatshirt. And since then, it hasn't been hot enough to wear.
Yeah.
So I've just kind of left it here. Mm-hmm. But did we go over everything that we wanted to?
I think so. Sorry, we're a little bit discombobulated. You know, every time we let 3 weeks go by, it's like we're starting over from scratch.
Yeah,
so
I think sometimes even when we let 2 weeks go by, but you know.
We should podcast every day.
They would get so sick.
I know, right?
We would have no viewers because they'd be like, what do those girls think? We want to watch them every single day?
I know, right?
Yeah, no, we're not that interesting. So, but yeah, I think that's everything. I know we asked last time about some knit-alongs maybe for the new year. Some people said yes, they were interested. If you guys have any ideas, or I know there's sock knit-alongs everywhere. So is there something else you guys want to do? Do you want to do a sweater and, you know, have it be like 6 months long, or, you know, there are some of you that'll probably finish it in 6 days.
Yeah.
But for Darlene and I, you know, we need a lot longer than that. But you know, do you want to do a hat? Do you want to do anything goes? So give us some ideas, maybe in the...
Or maybe you want, like Carrie said, anything goes, or maybe like a one skein thing. Like, you know, if you don't want to do socks, you can do a hat, gloves, a scarf. You know, we need like a small... Sometimes a small project is just what a knitter needs. You know,
instead of what a knitter wants, it's what a knitter needs.
What a knitter needs.
Yeah, sometimes you just an instant gratification, which is why I think I had a cast on that hat. I just love it.
I didn't tell you about the stupid deal I made with Bruce last Sunday.
Oh my gosh, I haven't heard this.
So,
I have no idea.
Yeah, she doesn't have any idea, because she would have said, "What is wrong with you?" I was so tired last week when we got home from the retreat. I mean, I was just beat. And I don't know why, because, I mean, we didn't do anything. We just sat in there,
sometimes you get tired of just sitting.
I mean, but we get up early, and we go to bed late. And
you're not in your own bed, and you don't sleep as well.
And so I was so tired. Well, Sunday, I told Bruce, I said, if you will cook supper tonight, I will cook supper every night next week. Oh. Because Bruce and I take turns. You know, I cook one night, and he cooks one night, and I cook one night. I told him, I said, if you'll cook supper tonight, I'll cook every night next week. Well, he cooked grilled cheese and soup, and then it was delicious, but I've cooked every night this week.
That's your own fault.
I know. So, Shyla, she was like, well, that was a stupid deal, Mama. So,
I'm not sure you won out of that one.
No, but it was kind of worth it, because I was exhausted Sunday.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. Sometimes you just... One of the things that I enjoy about living alone, you know, I mean, when Jaime's here, I love to cook for him. I'm not as good of a cook as Darlene is, but I try every once in a while. But yeah, sometimes it's just, I'm more of like, pull the corn down. Okay, sorry. that just like stopped on its own. But so yeah, you know, love to cook for Jaime every once in a while, but sometimes I like to just pull a corn dog out of a freezer and pop it in a microwave, you know, with some mustard, and I'm good.
Yeah.
I know it's not the healthiest thing in the world, but
no, sometimes
when you're tired,
fast overrules healthy. But
yeah,
so.
Usually fast and unhealthy is quicker and cheaper than
absolutely
healthy,
is.
And you know, and sometimes it wins. But
so, but here we are in November. I can't believe it. So, you know, starting to, you know, I mean, you should always think about your Christmas knitting before November, but not me.
Not Darlene.
I have to wait till at least November, and then I start thinking about.
Sometimes she waits until Thanksgiving, and it's like the day after Thanksgiving. She usually has family at her house for Thanksgiving, or her brother and her nephew
and kids
and stuff, and they come over and she'll either text me on Thanksgiving Day or the day after Thanksgiving. I want to make this for this person. I want to make this for this person. I want to make this for this person and this for this person. We got to do it by Christmas. And I'm usually like, okay.
The last time I did that to that extreme was I wanted to make all 5 of my grandkids a blanket.
A big pom-pom blanket.
And I think I told Carrie about it on the 15th of November. And there's no way. I mean, Carrie, bless her heart, she knows whenever I come up with these harebrained ideas, there's no way I can do it by myself. So she always helps me, and we got it done. We got them all done.
All of them, every one of them. To be fair, her family usually celebrates Christmas after Christmas.
We do.
Because it didn't really have to be done on Christmas Day. I think it was even actually after New Year's Day that they were having their family celebration. So we had a few extra days.
Yeah, and the reason we do it that way is because, you know, my daughter has, you know, her husband's family, and my son, you know, has, you know, his other families and stuff, and I just don't want, and we all live kind of far apart, and I don't want everybody to be rushed. And to me, I would rather do it on a weekend where it's convenient for everyone, and then that way they can actually spend Christmas with Tim's family, or Christmas with, you know, the other families, and you know, it works for us. We've done it that way since Casey got married, and that's been 17 years ago.
Wow, it's a long time. But it's what works. So. Yep. Well, I think that's all we've got. We do have a couple of bags for shop update.
I forgot about that.
But for those of you that don't want to watch the shop update, we do plan on podcasting in 2 weeks, so hopefully it won't be so long this time. And thanks for coming back and checking us out.
Thank you. Bye. So this one is just a Christmas stocking bag, and it's just got a pretty green lining in it.
This looks great.
And these both of these bags will go up in the shop today. Now this one, I love this one.
This one looks just beautiful.
I mean, it's just, I think, just a very nice looking bag. It's got, you know, woodland animals in it, and a tree, and a little farmhouse in the background, and some holly, and I just think that it's really, really pretty.
It is a very, very pretty bag.
And we put a yellow lining on the inside just because the bag itself doesn't scream Christmas. I think it you know, it is a Christmas print without being an in-your-face Christmas print, so people could actually use it year round. So we didn't put and when I say we, I mean my husband, because Bruce helps me in the shop. And when we were talking about this, we were debating, do we put a Christmas on the inside or what? And
I like it like this, but I think she also has a note in the shop. If you ever want a certain lining, you know, you want a red polka dot inside of this, you just need to send her a note.
Oh,
with your order, and she'll change the zipper for you. She'll change the lining for you, whatever you need. But I do like that yellow.
I do too. I mean, it's happy, it's bright, you know, it's a happy print. But if you do want a Christmas lining in it, I can put a Christmas lining. But I really just think it's pretty with a happy yellow sunny inside, and then your pretty Christmas.
It's almost like they're cold outside and it's happy and sunny inside. So your knitting gets to be nice and warm.
But those are the only bags I have, but they'll go up today, and I love this one. I think that
it's very pretty.
I think it's really pretty. So
I think that's it.
And that's it.
That's all we have.
So thank y'all very much.
Again, thanks for coming and checking us all out, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Right. Bye.
Bye.